Right now, the Madison community coming together to honor the life of a local woman that spent her career as a staunch advocate for female minorities. Plus, some snow has already begun falling here in Madison and around southern Wisconsin. Alex has the details you need to know ahead of your Monday morning commute. That's all coming up right now at 10. From sunshine this morning to snow tonight. This was the News 3 parking lot just a few hours ago as a system of winter weather has moved into southern Wisconsin and will remain overnight. Thanks for having us in. I'm McKenna Alexander. Behind me, our Doppler radar tracking precipitation throughout the region. Rain, winds, thunderstorms, and yes, even some snow is all in play depending on where you live. Meteorologist Alex Harrington has issued a first warn alert day for areas north of Madison. Joins us now with the forecast. Alex?
Yeah, McKenna, you got one version of Doppler track a little bit zoomed in on southern Wisconsin. I got another one a little bit zoomed out here showing that rain and snow activity. The snow activity is mostly north of Madison, and look off to the south and west over northeastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois. You see those little flashes. That's lightning. So we could even be seeing some thunderstorms across portions of southern Wisconsin. That's why we have alert day conditions for the heavy snow up towards the north. And then across the rest of southern Wisconsin, we're certainly going to be looking at the potential, at least, for that thunderstorm activity as this weather system moves in to the area. Well, of course, we'll break down who's going to see just how much snow a little bit further into our broadcast tonight. Areas to the north of Madison looking like they're probably going to see the most of that snow. And then we got an even bigger weather system that we need to break down. That one looks like a snowmaker for southern Wisconsin, so stick around.
Thanks, Alex. It was 1 year ago today that a tornado touched down southeast of Stoughton. A National Weather Service storm survey confirmed it was an EF1 tornado with maximum wind speeds of 95 miles per hour. You're looking at just some of the aftermath from that tornado, which damaged multiple buildings across Stoughton and left thousands in the dark, with more than 3,000 power outages reported in Dane and Jefferson counties. An icon in the Madison community passed away last week after a long life of serving the community. Agnes Kammer was a part of Madison's Filipino community and founded several organizations across the state that work to uplift people of color. Today, Kammer's friends and family gathered in Madison to honor her legacy of service. Our Braden Ross shares how loved ones are remembering her.
Agnes had a way.
Those who knew her say Agnes Kammer was a force of nature.
I never said no to her, and I don't know of anyone who ever said no to her, because we all knew that it was for the better good.
She was born in the Philippines in 1926, where she spent her first 25 years before she met and fell in love with an American airman.
She was a very independent woman. From the time she met my grandfather and married him, she left her entire family to come to the States.
After years of moving around the country, she settled in Madison, where she started her career in public policy. Here, she founded the Wisconsin Women of Color Network, an organization aimed at creating community and opportunity for minority women in the state.
I think it was real important, especially when it was founded in the 1980s, that there were few women of color, relatively speaking, who were in managerial and supervisory positions.
She dedicated her life to serving her community, also creating the Philippine American Association of Madison and the Wisconsin Organization for Asian Americans.
She was like an Energizer bunny.
She was always thinking about the network. I don't think a day passed, John, that she did not think about the network, the people in the network.
She was a mentor and a friend to many, always focused on others.
I'm a first-generation immigrant, and I didn't know much about the way of life in this country, and I've kind of followed her.
Her loved ones say her legacy will live on in every life she touched.
I think she's loved, and I think she will be remembered long, long after she's gone. Yeah.
For News 3 Now, I'm Braden Ross.
The fate of Madison's oldest piece of public art rests in your hands. The Annie C. Stewart Fountain at Vilas Park is in need of repair, and the city hopes you'll share your thoughts on its future in a survey. The fountain honors the life of Annie C. Stewart, a well-known charitable community member from the early 20th century. It was built nearly 100 years ago in 1925, but has a history of being vandalized dating back as early as the 1930s and is also missing some pieces. Wisconsin winters don't do the fountain any favors either, so the Parks Division covers it through the winter months. But here's a look at when it's not wrapped in tarp. Many groups have made attempts to conserve and repair the public art, including a Chicago-based consultancy group that has presented certain conservation options. But the conservation project is not an easy decision to make, so city officials are asking community members to fill out a survey on the fountain's future. We've included a link to that survey online. Just look for the story over on channel3000.com. New tonight, administrators of a Milwaukee area school are apologizing for an incident involving racist speech and behavior from its students during a boys' basketball game Friday night. Students of Muskego High School were involved as Muskego faced off against Beloit Memorial. Following the game, Muskego administrators say they received an email from Memorial's athletic director sharing concerns about Muskego's student section's costume theme, as well as racist images found in the locker room. Now the district is investigating. In a statement, officials with Muskego Norway Schools say in part that the district is, quote, dedicated to improving processes that will ensure our commitment of providing an environment that meets the expectations of our community and demonstrates respect for others. A man died this morning after a fiery crash south of Clinton. Just after 7 a.m., emergency crews were called to Highway 67 South near South Northrop Road on reports of a two-vehicle crash. According to officials, a Ford Explorer was traveling east on Highway 67 when it crossed the center line and collided with a westbound Ford Taurus. The Explorer caught fire and was fully engulfed in flames when emergency crews arrived. The driver of the Taurus was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries, and the driver of the Explorer was pronounced dead at the scene. This crash is still under investigation. A bakery and deli in Beloit celebrated a special milestone last week, 90 years of business, serving fresh pastries and sandwiches. Old Fashioned Bakery in Beloit started out of the original owner's kitchen in 1933, and 90 years later, the current owners say making people happy with their desserts is the icing on the cake. When the bakery first opened, it only sold small batches of bread, but since then, it's expanded to 2 different locations selling hundreds of baked goods. But customers say the bakery's small-town charm is what keeps them coming back. And even though the bakery is known for its homemade fudge and colorful donuts, the owners say getting to know the community is the real treat.
Everything we make is really good, and people keep coming back. We've got loyal people that have, they come in, they'll say, I used to come in here when I was a kid. I think, well, I used to come in here when I was a kid, too.
If you're wondering about the bakery's secret ingredient for success, well, the owners tell News 3 that teamwork is what keeps their business strong. There's a new season underway, and I'm not talking about spring. I'm talking about the best season of all, Girl Scout cookie season. This weekend, Girl Scouts began their cookie trek throughout Dane County, with troops set up in front of grocery stores, donut shops, and thrift stores, just to name a few. The cookie program is a critical source of funding for many local Girl Scout troops and helps teach independence, goal setting, and entrepreneurial skills.
Selling things is really fun. You can just tell them about what you're selling, and then they'll get intrigued by it and they want to buy more,
If you're looking for your fix of Thin Mints, Tagalongs, or Samoas, you have from now until April 9th to buy some. To find a cookie booth or scout near you, just visit gsbadgerland.org. Still ahead at 10, a facelift in Mineral Point, where the American Legion Post has reopened its doors more than 3 decades after closing. Look at the bar's renovations coming up next. Plus, some composting tips as you start to think about spring gardening. Stay with us. We'll be right back on News 3 Now at 10.
Get that smart sugar for just 99 cents. Monday only at Hy-Vee. That's right, your daily deal for Monday is a 4-pound bag of that smart sugar for just 99 cents. While supplies last. Only at Hy-Vee.
You've got this. Whatever it is, you're ready for it. Your newly purchased defenses, top of the line. Your backup, backing up. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So if your new house still has some old tenants, we'll make sure your checking account won't be giving you any surprises. You've got this with Associated Bank.
Did you know 50% of your body weight rests in the middle while you sleep? That's why Sealy's exclusive Posturepedic technology reinforces the center where you need it most. But don't take my word for it. Come to Denver Mattress and see for yourself. Plus, get a free $200 gift when you purchase select Sealy mattress sets. And rest easy knowing every mattress comes with our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Sealy at Denver Mattress today, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
Turn on Bionic Spotlight Extreme 360, the motion-activated home defense light that looks just like a security camera. It detects even the slightest motion and automatically triggers 6 ultra-bright LED high beams. Call or go online and order your Bionic Extreme 360 for just $19.99. Plus, get free shipping on your entire order.
To order, call 1-800-501-5956 or go online to buybionic360.com. Call now.
Join the Circle of Life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
Get that smart sugar for just 99 cents. Monday only at Hy-Vee. That's right, your daily deal for Monday is a 4-pound bag of that smart sugar for just 99 cents. While supplies last. Only at Hy-Vee.
Adam Pally is right at home on the Jennifer Hudson Show. I came to give you all this love.
Thank you. Out of a deep hole that only the love of strangers can fill.
Plus, Pictionary with Jerry O'Connell.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
In more local news tonight, the bar at American Legion's 170th post in Mineral Point has been closed for 35 years. But back in its day, it was the place where community members would all gather for a drink. But as of today, the bar is back open, helping make the post feel a bit more complete. Our Andrew Banster was there to witness the institution come back to life.
It's been 35 years since these local Mineral Point veterans have been able to go to their favorite watering hole, but it's finally back and they can't believe how good it looks.
I didn't recognize the place. I said, my wife, that's not the Legion.
A facelift revived an institution. The bar has been out of commission for so long that when I asked for the address, I was told it doesn't have one yet. They said just look for the PBR sign. But back in its day, this was the place to be.
There was no bars open downtown, so this was the only one that was open.
Joe remembers coming to the 170th post in Mineral Point in the early 1950s after a long day fishing the Mississippi. Local law at that time prevented any bars in Mineral Point's downtown, but the post was located outside that jurisdiction. But over the years, bars opened downtown, and eventually in 1987, the bar at this post was closed.
Today means a lot to me because years ago when I was a young boy, we'd come in here and play horseshoes and all this and that, and I remember this place back then.
When a fellow vet passed, he left behind money for the Legion, and that's where some younger veterans stepped in.
We have one member who's a carpenter, all right, and another member who's a stone layer, bricklayer, and it looks like brand new in there.
And today it was ready to come back to life, just like the times when Francis would help his Uncle Jack clean the bar after hours.
It means a lot to see a lot of people show up and good old days.
Legions are important for veterans, a place to be together and remember those good old days.
So we sit here and shoot the bull about who did what and when they were in the military and then, you know, the experiences they went through and it's important to the veterans.
And maybe, just maybe, post-170's revival will breathe some new life into them, too.
This place should have been open every day of the week, or at least weekends, you know, and now we will. We'll be back to throwing them horseshoes I told you about, you know. Yeah, it means a lot.
And having a place to be with your brothers and sisters in arms means everything to these veterans.
In Mineral Point, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
Back here in Madison, all weekend long, the Working Draft Beer Company has thrown a party celebrating 5 years of business at its East Wilson Street address. Employees at the brewery say it's the company's golden birthday, turning 5 on the 5th, which called for, of course, the release of some new beers. Making its debut today was the Lumbermouth Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. A Dreamsicle Fruited Seltzer and Doppelbock Lager were also introduced on Friday and Saturday night. During the celebration, Working Draft collaborated with several restaurants to offer special food items like sweet potato donuts and fresh croissants from Bloom Bake Shop. Meteorologist Alex Arrington joins us now with the first warn forecast.
Yeah, McKenna, and good evening, folks. We got alert day conditions developing for areas mainly north of the Dells for 1 to maybe up to 4 inches of that heavy, wet, slushy snow. And this is really from that time frame now through the 6 a.m. Monday time frame. So if you're traveling up Juneau, Adams, Marquette, Green Lake counties, that's what we're talking about here as we take a look at our winter headlines off to the north of Madison and central and northern Wisconsin, again, including Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties. We have that winter weather advisory in effect. Take a look at our high resolution radar showing that we have snow actually going on over portions of Dane County right now. I just looked outside and we do have some big wet snowflakes falling out there. Areas towards the north, up towards the Dells and further to the north again, you have the better chances of having that snow activity as we carry on into your Sunday overnight and into early Monday. And off to the south and west of the Platteville, Dubuque area, you see a couple little flashes there. Could even see some thunderstorms across parts southern Wisconsin. Putting our future track model into motion here. Look at this. By the time we get into the wee hours of your Monday, the precipitation, according to the future track model, is off towards the north, towards the east. The main weather system still off to the south and the west, moving towards southern Wisconsin as we get into that rush hour time frame on your Monday. Could see a scattered shower out there as temperatures warm a bit as we move into Monday as that low pressure system moves through, and then windy conditions on the backside, maybe a scattered shower or a snow shower later in your Monday afternoon. This is weather system number 1 here, and temperatures will cool behind that weather system, and that cooler weather, we got more of that in the forecast. Again, in the snow department to the north, maybe 1 inch to up to 4 inches towards central Wisconsin. This is weather system number 1 we're dealing with right now. Weather system number 2, we've been tracking it here in the First Warn Weather Team, looking at maybe the likelihood of a winter storm as we go into that Friday, Saturday time frame. Still plenty of uncertainty with that weather system, so definitely stay tuned to the station, channel3000.com, and of course, our First Warn weather app. And actually taking a look at one of our future track models, this is just a projection as we go into that Thursday time frame, snow developing across southern Wisconsin, much of the upper Midwest as we carry into your Thursday night, going into your Friday, and some weather models have this carrying on possibly even into Saturday with breezy conditions if this does verify. So definitely something to stay tuned to the station for. Our forecast, well, tonight I did bump temperatures down a little bit. We'll go 37 with that mix, that potpourri of weather with alert day conditions to the north. We will be mild tomorrow, 44. Winds will die down a bit, but as we get into your Monday night, those wind conditions will start to ramp back up. They'll stay breezy as we go into Tuesday. Generally seasonable as we go towards Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, there we start to dip down, McKenna. That's that colder air coming in with this big weather system. That one could be what I like to say, a doozy.
So spring isn't here just yet.
Not quite.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
In news across the U.S., we're learning more tonight about last night's freight train derailment in Springfield, Ohio. The train is owned by Norfolk Southern, the same company responsible for the recent derail of a train carrying toxic materials in East Palestine, which is more than 200 miles east of Springfield. A shelter-in-place order was lifted this morning after no hazardous materials were found on the 212-car train. Officials determined the derailment was not in an area with a protected water source and did not pose a risk to the public water system or private wells. In international news, in Greece, massive protests are continuing this weekend after 57 people died in a train crash last week. Tear gas has been used as protesters clashed with police near the Greek parliament in Athens. At first, authorities said a station master blamed the disaster on a technical failure, but then later admitted to making a mistake. Earlier today, Greece's prime minister apologized, saying, quote, "As prime minister, I owe everyone, but above all the relatives of the victims, a big sorry. Both personally and in the name of all those who ruled the country for years, we cannot, will not, and must not hide behind human error." Final one of the regular season, Wisconsin on the road facing Minnesota. Jordan has highlights of the border battle coming up next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Spring is in the air, and you know what that means. It's Feldco season.
Feldco season. It means 50% off windows with no money down, no payments, and no interest until 2024. So you can replace those eyesores without breaking the bank. It means getting the windows you want fast, so your home's ready for the warmer weather ahead. It's the season of home renewal. It's Feldco season.
This offer won't last long. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
I just got the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra from US Cellular. With the most powerful processor yet, it can game smoother than ever. With nightography, it can take selfies in low light. Click. And with a longer battery life and US Cellular's 5G network, it can stream my favorite shows around the clock.
Amazing. Can it go back in the bag?
Yeah, it can go back into the bank.
Okay. Did you just kiss the phone?
The new Samsung Galaxy S23. Free for everyone from US Cellular.
I kissed it?
Yes.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Introducing Astapro Allergy. Steroid-free allergy relief that starts working in 30 minutes, while other allergy sprays take hours. Now with Astapro Fast Allergy Relief, you can Astapro and go.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
The regular season comes to a close tonight for Wisconsin men's basketball. They're wrapping things up with round 2 of the border battle. Now, back in January, the Badgers got the 3-point win to make it 5 straight dubs over the Gophers. Of course, sticking to this season's theme of close games, it's a tight one at the barn. UW trailing by 2 late second half. Stephen Crowell gets the bucket to go, plus the foul. Nice little 3-point play, and the Badgers have the lead. It's going to come down to the final minute. Tied up at 62, Chucky Hepburn dials up from distance, and money gives Bucky the lead for good. And Wisconsin ends the regular season with a 71-67 win over Minnesota. Crowell and Tyler Wall both put up 21 points tonight. Next up is the Big Ten tournament, and the Badgers have locked up the 12 seed. They will face Ohio State on Wednesday. Tip-off for them in Chicago is set for 5:30. The Bucs saw their 16-game win streak come to an end last night. Playing spoiler, the 76ers. Philly came back from an 18-point deficit to get the win in Milwaukee. But hey, you got to flip the page because the Bucs have a quick turnaround. Tonight on the road facing the Wizards. We're going to jump to the fourth quarter, knotted up at 88. Javon Carter has the answer. He flushes a triple for 3 of his 20 points off the bench tonight. Grayson Allen making it rain from three-point land for the second night in a row. That gives the Deers some scoreboard cushion, and the Bucs move back into the win column behind a team-high 23 from Giannis, who also picked up his 4th triple-double of the season. And this one is for all the Big Ten marbles. Dean Hamady going up against Iowa's Patrick Kennedy for the 165-pound title in the Big Ten championships. Hamady strikes first. He gets 2 points for the takedown. Now, Kennedy does cut it to a 1-point match, but Hamady keeps it going in the second period. 2 more for another takedown, and he holds on to win by decision, taking home his first ever Big Ten title. Also, 5 Badgers have qualified for the NCAA championships in Tulsa. Hamady, Eric Barnett, Joseph Zargo, Braxton Amos, and Trenton Hilger. The road to the Women's Frozen Four officially begins on Thursday for Wisconsin women's hockey. The Badgers earned their spot in the NCAA tournament and will open regional play on Thursday against Long Island University up in New York. The Badgers head into the game with a 2-0-0 record against the Sharks. The winner of this semifinal contest will face Colgate on Saturday for the regional final. Now, whoever comes out of the weekend on top will be heading to Duluth for the Women's Frozen Four. And final round of the Cologuard Classic. It's a tough outing for both Steve Stricker and Jerry Kelly. Strick struggled on the back nine, 3 bogeys, but he does end the day with 4 birdies, including back-to-back on 17 and 18. He finishes the tourney tied for 8th, while Kelly finishes tied for 19th.
All right, thanks, Jordan. Composting is a great way to keep your food scraps from ending up in a landfill while delivering nutrient-rich soil in return. Sounds great, but if you've ever tried it, you know it can get confusing trying to figure out how to do it the right way. But if you start now, you'll be all set for spring planting. And to help, Consumer Reports has the do's and don'ts of at-home composting.
Turning your garbage into gold. No, not alchemy. We're talking about composting, where food scraps and other organic waste break down over time, blossoming into a nutrient-rich soil amendment, a gardener's treasure. At least that's the way it's supposed to work.
Depending on what type of compost system you're using, it's really important to know what you can and cannot put in each of them.
First, the system. How are you going to break down the food waste? There are 3 main options: backyard compost bins, vermicomposting, which uses worms, and in some cities, large-scale composting systems, which can include drop-off or even curbside pickup. If you opt for a backyard compost bin, toss in most food scraps, including eggshells, coffee grounds, and yard trimmings. Just avoid bones, meat, fish, and dairy products. Here's the trick. When you add new waste to the bin, cover it immediately with some leaves, straw, or similar material. This keeps the ecosystem going, allowing it all to break down. For apartment dwellers, vermicomposting might be your best bet, since it doesn't involve a lot of space, but it does involve worms.
You can dispose of the same food scraps as you would in a backyard bin, but worms can shy away from items like garlic, onions, or citrus peels, so it's best to avoid putting those items in your vermicompost bin.
Municipal composting systems heat up to high temperatures as they break down the waste, which means the compost can handle more stuff like bones, meat, fish, cheese, and other milk products, and sometimes even food-spoiled paper products. Whichever system you choose, composting is a great way to generate less trash and a good start in greening up your thumb for planting season. This is David Fazekas.
Stay with us. A final check of your First Warn forecast is coming up when we return.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Dan Kelly won't keep our community safe. As a lawyer, Kelly defended child sex predators who posed as ministers in order to prey on vulnerable young girls. They lured young children to locations they believed to be safe, only to sexually assault and molest them. And Dan Kelly defended those monsters. Do you want someone like that on the Supreme Court? Dan Kelly, an extremist who doesn't care about us.
Did you know 50% of your body weight rests in the middle while you sleep? That's why Sealy's exclusive Posturepedic technology reinforces the center where you need it most. But don't take my word for it. Come to Denver Mattress and see for yourself. Plus, get a free $200 gift when you purchase select Sealy mattress sets. And rest easy knowing every mattress comes with our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Sealy at Denver Mattress today, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
At no fault of their own during the cold, thousands of Wisconsin residents in your community make the difficult choice between eating or heating their home. On March 9th, please join News 3 Now and support a day of warmth, benefiting the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. 90 cents of every dollar donated is used to help those in crisis. Give the gift of warmth. For more information, visit kwwf.org/donate. A day of warmth, sponsored by Viridian Homes and Kaiser Lincoln.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. Plus, it works faster than Claritin, and on first dose, provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you.
So it's crispy outside, flaky inside.
Let us take care of you. With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Call for action only on News 3 Now.
Tomorrow on CBS Mornings, the man on a mission to bring a more authentic taste of Mexico to the U.S.
The story we wanted to share was not just tacos and take tacos around the world, but it was really taking Mexican hospitality, you know, on this trip with us.
Dario Wolos is the founder of Tecumbe, which is set for a major expansion in cities across the U.S. How he turned an old bus into a growing restaurant empire, tomorrow on CBS Mornings. All right, so we were just talking about how we've been kind of, I'm going to sniffle right now, a little sniffly with everything, but yeah. I was saying I didn't think you could have that in the winter, but you said, you know, it's still possible to have allergies right now.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Late February, March, when you get rid of the snow, you got the grass and the mold. So
it's just a bad time of year. It doesn't sound like it's getting any warmer either.
Yeah, not anytime soon. We definitely have our alert day conditions to the north, where we've got that wet, heavy snow going on. There it is on Doppler track. Most certainly, if you're traveling north on I-90 up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, Green Lake counties, take it easy. There's going to be some heavy snow. We even have a little bit of heavy snow here in Dane County right now, but that should turn over to rain.
All right, thanks, Alex, and thanks for joining us tonight. News 3 Now this morning starts at 4:30.